Do you look in the mirror and find that no matter how much sleep you get, you actually still look tired and have heavy bags under those eyes? Well, I want to show you a few different options you have when it comes to total eye rejuvenation. Today on The Younger You.
I'm on top of the world, now I'm living, and the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah. And it's a good, I won't even worry anymore. Took all my cares, still can kick them all out the door. Go on and try, come and tell me what you're waiting for. Move and keep them going till your life is overflowing, yeah.
Welcome to The Younger You. Today on the show we're talking all about total eye rejuvenation, which can either be done with an upper or lower eyelid surgery, or there are ways that it can be done non-surgically. Let me introduce you to Dr. Thompson. He's the wonderful facials plastic surgeon that will be performing today's procedure. Welcome to the show again, Dr. Thompson.
Hi, Troy.
Dr. Thompson, what is a total eye rejuvenation in layman terms?
So the reason I like to use this term total eye rejuvenation is because the eye and all of the anatomy around the eye is complex in the way that it contributes to the way that the eye looks. We have the eyebrow, the eyelids, the lower eyelids, the eyelashes, the skin around the eyes, and all of those things contribute to the way that the eye looks. And when we're trying to rejuvenate the eye, we can't just hit it with one procedure or have kind of a one-minded approach to it.
So when you're looking at someone's eye, and I think, you know, a lot of things can go wrong if you're not seeing someone who is a specialist in that area as well. Do you feel that it's a more complicated area to work on the face compared to the other areas that you do?
Yes, I would say that that's true, especially the lower eyelid. It's very susceptible to tension and downward pull, and so we have to be very careful about what we do and how we do the procedures, and the anatomy and the muscles are very important to be aware of.
Okay, and also genetically, people are born with either a lazy eye or the dark circles. Some things there's nothing you can do about. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. There are certain genetic factors, and you talk about the dark circles. People with allergies, nasal allergies, tend to have those genetically, and it's a very hard thing to fix. And there are things that we can do to make it look better, but sometimes that's one that you can't completely
Well, and it's something that we always hear from all the supermarkets and the advertising that goes on. It just is, get rid of the dark circles. You know, it doesn't always work.
Usually it's overpromised.
Yeah,
it really
I agree with you. Dr. Thompson, what is the difference between a non-surgical and surgical total eye rejuvenation?
Well, non-surgical eye rejuvenation usually is injectables, fillers, Botox, skin treatments, skin resurfacing, whereas surgical, we're usually removing some skin or moving some fat or removing some fat.
Does the non-surgical procedure act as a preventative?
In many
Does that make
cases,
sense?
yes.
Yeah.
In many cases it is preventive, but a lot of times we're actually trying to correct something that has already developed.
When is too young to start?
If you're just talking about Botox or a chemical peel, you could start looking at those kinds of things in your 20s. And again, you talk about genetics. Some people genetically have a really heavy eyelid. Some people have the dark circles. Some people might have hollowness in their eyes in their 20s, and then that's when we start to look at it.
Well, the viewer question is, how will this procedure, Dr. Thompson, affect my vision, especially whilst we're recovering? And let's talk about the surgical side, because non-surgical is really not a major issue, is it?
So the vision can be improved if you have a situation where the skin is hanging over the eyelashes and blocking your vision, and that's a lot of times one of the motivations that we have for doing this procedure. But you asked immediately after, a lot of times the vision will be not quite it's normal. It might be a little bit blurry for a week or two, and then that's usually just related to swelling, and that resolves on its own.
All right. Now, we have issues you see on men and women. They have the puffiness under the eye. Is it just a lack of sleep, too much fluid? What is the cause of that?
Again, it depends on the exact source or the exact cause of the puffiness. If the puffiness is related to excess fat under the eyes, in the pockets tend to herniate out with some people genetically again, then that's usually something we treat surgically. If it's fluid, which also genetically collects in certain people right in this area, that's very difficult to treat. It's very difficult to correct, and usually we can't correct it. We end up doing other things around that area to try and camouflage.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. Well, I want you to check out this makeup tip to make those eyes of yours pop.
Eye lift with the perfect eyebrow. Step 1. Underline your brow to create that clean, arched, just waxed look. Step 2. With a stiff angle brush and a small amount of lighter brow powder, start at the line you just created and lightly sweep the product in an upward motion. Continue to blend until brow is fully filled in, but not overdone. Step 3. Using a lighter concealer or light powder, redefine the line that you created first and clean up any mistakes. Step 4. Using an empty spoolie, brush through your brows and blend and soften your brow. Step 5. Use either a finishing wax or a clear mascara to set your brows for all-day wear.
Like us on Facebook for updates on the show and how to join the Younger You conversation.
More than 160,000 people went under cosmetic eye surgical treatment. 83% of these were women and 16% were men. And I want to ask Dr. Thompson why he feels these stats are getting a little bit heavier on the male side. 16%. It's increasing with men now having eye surgeries.
Well, I think we see that general trend with injectables, with surgical procedures overall, and I've mentioned this before on the program that I've seen that myself in my own practice, that I'm seeing more men for rejuvenation procedures. Men are unique with regard to the eyes because we have lower eyebrows to start with.
Well, they seem heavier on guys,
They're heavier on guys naturally, and that's why if they're lifted too high and you see sometimes pictures or someone that's had surgery, it doesn't look right. So it still needs to sit low, but because of the low eyebrow, it's much easier for it to become an issue where it looks very heavy and even blocking vision sometimes.
All right. Dr. Thompson, Latisse, everyone is talking about it. What is it and how does it work?
Latisse is a medication that was originally developed for patients with glaucoma for treating the increased pressure in the eye. And the doctors, the eye doctors that were prescribing this medication noticed that it made the eyelashes grow, and nobody expected that. And that's kind of where it developed into something, wow, is this something we can use to help people have longer eyelashes?
We're looking at some before and after shots up on the screen now. Incredible of what...
And those are real. There's
no extensions on them?
Latisse works. It works nearly every time.
How?
It just stimulates the eyelash to grow and that hair follicle to grow. So we have to be careful. A lot of times people want to put it on the lower eyelid too, and it can make it grow too long. And so it needs to be used exactly how it's directed. But yeah, it just stimulates new growth of eyelashes, so they become thicker and they become longer.
Now, is it something, I know it sounds crazy, but you often hear girls say, oh, my boyfriend's got the best eyelashes, they're long and thick. Is it something guys could use as well? Or
I guess it is. It's not something that typically I've ever had any men ask me about.
I'm going to give it a try.
It's usually women that want longer eyelashes, but yeah.
Because I also think having less eyelashes and shorter eyelashes, I think it takes away from the eye as well. When you have this full look within the eye, it really draws
brings the eye out for sure. Yeah, no question.
Now, is it a daily process?
Yes, it's something that's applied daily, and it's just done with a little applicator, and it's very simple to do. It's important that you use it as directed.
It's time to meet Christina, a 35-year-old patient who has received a non-surgical total eye rejuvenation. Let's take a look.
I am Kristen Podeska. I am 35, and I am doing eye rejuvenation.
So we spoke before about under your eyes, and you're sort of seeing that they seem like they're looking a little bit tired to you. We're going to do some non-surgical things, and I think there's a lot that we can do to really rejuvenate your lower eyes.
I wanted eye rejuvenation because I am just feeling like I look tired all the time, and just been through a lot of stress and changes in my life, and I don't want to look tired.
Now sometimes if we do the Botox and we still feel like there's some lines and some wrinkles, sometimes I'll recommend doing a chemical peel under your eyes, and that'll take off a layer of skin, and that helps to tighten it up as well. And
I was married young at 19 and was married for 15 years and went through a divorce 3 years ago. And so I feel like stress truly does play a role in aging. I feel like I've aged a lot in the past few years with everything that's gone on. So that's why I'm excited about this procedure.
we talked about either adding some fat, which is surgical, or adding some filler, which is non-surgical and has a lot lower downtime. So we're going to do some filler.
Rejuvination is going to help fill in the hollow spots in my eye, so where I have dark circles, and I can try concealing, but it still has that indentation and that hollowness, and so it's going to help fill that up and make me look awake.
Okay, now you'll feel about 3 or 4 little pokes on each side here.
I am so excited about having my eyes done, and I feel like this is just a great gift for me right now. It's Merry Christmas to me. But yeah, I'm very excited for the results. I'm very excited for the opportunity.
I'm going to make a couple of little puncture holes in your skin, and these will just heal up and not be visible at all. And you shouldn't feel that at all. That hurt?
Nope. Didn't feel anything. I have 4 children and they're all girls, hence why I'm tired. I think it's important to just feel good about who you are and look in the mirror and be proud of who you are and what you look like, and that carries over in confidence, and I think that's what makes you successful in whatever you do, is just feeling confident about yourself.
Coming up after the break, we'll be meeting our patient Audrey and finding out why she felt she needed an upper and lower eyelid procedure. Closed captioning for The Younger You is brought to you by Mindful Medical. Be sure to head over to theyoungeryou.tv to stay up to date with all things Younger You.
The following footage contains surgical procedures. It may be too graphic for some viewers.
My name is Audrey, and I'm having an upper and lower bleph done, or blepharoplasty.
So on the upper eyelids, it's just going to kind of lift that skin a little bit. You'll still have some sitting there to close your eyes and everything, obviously, but it'll just sort of lift it up so it's off of your eyelashes. And then down here, like I said, I think we'll add some volume right through here. I think that's one of the biggest problems, is it's just hollow right through there. And I still am going to remove a little bit of skin here too, okay?
Okay. He's going to make an incision right here and then take out all the extra fat that is there, and then an incision right under my eyelash line. I have quite a bit of fat deposits here on both sides, and so he's going to redistribute the fat and try to smooth all this out so I don't have bags under my eyes.
Do you have any questions?
No, I'm just excited.
All right. Good.
Ready to do this. This is
right.
going to be an awesome adventure.
I'm making some markings on the eyelids here. We're going to take off some of this excess skin. That's annoying cosmetically, but it's also somewhat of a functional issue.
I feel like I'm a very happy, positive person, and I felt like my eyes made me look tired and more grouchy, and so I don't want to look grouchy. I want to look happy and look the way I feel inside, because that's the first thing people are going to notice. And within the first couple of seconds somebody meets you, they judge you by the way you look. And it takes a little while for your actual personality to come out, but I think people unfortunately do judge you.
We have some fullness right through here, and mainly the problem is that it's hollow here, so we're going to add some fat to this tissue here and also around the orbit to just reduce the level of bagginess, and then we'll also remove some of the skin to kind of just tighten up under the eyelid here.
It's like the beginning of being a better person kind of thing. Does that make sense? You know, sometimes you need that extra little push to get you to do what you know you should be doing anyway. And I think this is kind of my push in the right direction. Say, well, if I can have my eyes beautiful, then I bet you my body can be right after that. Actually, I took up yoga, and so now that we don't have to spend as much time with my kids, I actually go to yoga twice a week with my husband. Now you have to realize my husband is 6'7" and more than 300 pounds, and you'd think, wow, this big man is in yoga. But you know, we do yin yoga, which is more meditative yoga. And so this is something that we have really enjoyed as a couple doing together, and it's kind of like we're starting to do fun things together that we never used to do before.
So for this, I just make a couple of little stab incisions, and then we're going to put a liposuction cannula in to harvest some fat.
Right now, the lash line and everything is completely covered by the fat on my eyes, and I want to put nice dark eyeliner on, which you cannot see at all. I tried it on Sunday, and I was trying to put eyeliner on, and you couldn't even see it because my eyelids cover it so much. And so, yes, I want to do very nice eye makeup and have some eyeshadow and things like that. I think that'll be way fun.
As soon as I put this last stitch, then we're done harvesting. You can just clean off this leg. Yeah. Okay. I'll put a steri strip on these two little incisions.
It's time for me, I feel like. My kids are all grown, everybody is married, everybody's having kids. I've always, devoted my whole life to my children and my family, and I feel it's kind of time for me to do some things that I've wanted to do, and to spend more time on eating healthy, exercising, taking care of my body, and looking the best I can look.
So now we're prepping the skin. There's a lot of bacteria that live on the skin, and this good old-fashioned iodine, nothing else has been proven to be better than that over the years, so that's what we still prep with.
My husband is actually very supportive. He's happy, for me to do whatever I want to do. He's not a controlling husband at all. So he was fine with it. Yeah, he was excited.
Okay, so now I'm going to make a couple of little pokes in the skin for this fat to be injected in. So kind of back and forth, and we just put little micro droplets of fat in all the way along here. I've got my finger up on the orbital rim to help protect her eye.
The girls were saying, "Oh, Mom, you're beautiful just the way you are. Don't do anything." I think they're a little bit worried that I'll not be the same and be the same mom anymore, but it won't have any bearing on what kind of mom I am. I have just so much admiration and confidence in Dr. Thompson. I have total confidence in him that he will do a great job. And so I can't wait to see the new me.
Coming up next, we get to see Kristen and Audrey's final results.
She's at the age where she's starting to get permanent lines at rest.
It's my favourite part of the whole process. Now we need to take a look at the before and after shots of all of our guests. Kristen, you had what we are calling the non-surgical total eye rejuvenation. Dr. Thompson, we had a little bit of filler under the eye, as we've seen in the videos, a little bit of Botox, and Dr. T put you on a special eye cream as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to start off with the eye cream. You said to me off camera that you had never really thought of using an eye cream.
No.
Specifically just for the eyes.
I just was using an all-over face night cream and didn't get anything specific for my eyes.
Okay, I want to bring Dr. T in on this because I personally have thought about eye creams my whole life and have seen all the marketing. Why is it so important, Dr. T?
The skin of the lower eyelids is very different than the skin of the rest of the face, and so to just kind of use a blanket approach for the eyelids that's intended for the face just isn't the best. The skin is very thin, it's susceptible to early lines and wrinkling.
Did you feel, because this is something we've talked about before, Dr. Thompson, I feel Dr. Thompson does a very natural look.
Which was really important to me, because we've all seen the ones that don't look so natural, and so I'm always a little more hesitant.
Kristen is the type, and she's at the age where she's starting to get permanent lines at rest. And
I know.
It's very easy to correct that with a little bit of Botox.
Correct it now.
Yeah, it's easy to correct it now. She has a little bit of hollowing. She's starting to get some looseness. And so she was very wise to go after it right now, because it's fairly easy to get her back to where, wow, her eyes look completely smooth. You know, you don't see any hollowing or anything.
Well,
and that was fairly easy
I think
to
you
do.
look incredible.
Like, thank you.
Look like...
I feel incredible.
And it's something that I can't tell that you've had Botox.
I hope not.
To be honest with you, it's a very natural
That's how it
look.
should be. That's how Botox
Definitely
should be.
how it should be.
I love it. Audrey, we're bringing you in on this conversation, my friend.
My turn.
Okay, Dr. T, any complications with this procedure? With Audrey?
Audrey has had kind of some heaviness to her upper eyelids, starting to affect her vision. She's always had kind of the darkness underneath that we've talked about, but also starting to get some fullness and some excess fat, and so we felt like she would be a good candidate for upper and lower eyelid surgery.
Did you ever think that you would have this type of surgery done?
I never even thought of it till I was getting, you know, about this age, and I started noticing how heavy my eyes were getting, and it was affecting my vision. And
really?
Yes, it was. My peripheral vision. And so I just thought, I want to look not so tired. I want to look more rested and younger. And so, and I am not one that was really interested in putting lots of fillers in my face, so I wanted a more permanent solution.
Interesting. So you could have had the option. Was Audrey a good candidate to have the non-surgical total eye rejuvenation?
For certain aspects of it. For hollowing under here, filler or fat is a good choice. Fillers are great because there is no downtime, but they don't last permanently. Fat, whatever survives, lasts permanently, but we all know that we have to over-inject the amount of fat because it doesn't usually take 100%. And even from one patient to the next, I see a big difference.
When we first met, you know, he did give me the option of making this a more permanent solution by injecting the fat. For me,
where was he going to get it from? There's nothing on it. I'm like, what's she going to borrow it
from me? That's why we decided to go with the injections.
Yeah, it was a challenge.
Thank you.
Well, you do. You look amazing. What did your family think of you having this procedure? Had you done any cosmetic procedures before?
No, I had never done any procedures before.
Okay.
And my children actually said, but Mom, you are beautiful. We love you just the way you are. You don't need to do anything. And
it was for you.
And so I kind of had to convince them that's really what I wanted to do. But then once I did it and they saw, you know, the finished thing, then they were like, oh, you do look a lot nicer.
I think you both look amazing, and as usual, Dr. Thompson, I love the way you do a very natural look. No matter whether it's a facelift, you know, he really is amazing. We really appreciate all the work and sharing your story as well, ladies. Thank you. Whether you feel you look tired all the time or genetically you just feel your eyes keep getting puffier and puffier, well then perhaps you should look into what we call a total eye rejuvenation. There are many different options to make your eyes look younger, both surgically and also non-surgically. For more information about Dr. Thompson and the show, head over to our website at theyounger.you.tv, and I'll see you next week. Next week on The Younger You, The Younger You Challenge is back, and that means we're at week 8. Our 8 contestants have been put through their paces, not only mentally, but physically. Have they made it? Let's check it out next week on The Younger You. Okay guys, you're at week 8. You've just finished your second challenge. How are we feeling? Okay.
The Younger You set provided by Madison McCord Interiors.